This is Matt Hurt at Obsessive Viewer on Twitter.
This is Tiny at Obsessive Tiny on Twitter.
And I am Mike White at I am Mike White on Twitter.
And this is ObsessiveViewer.com's The Obsessive Viewer Podcast. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome, guys. I just yawned. I'm going to try that again. So welcome, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Do you need coffee or anything? I'm going to make coffee before work tonight.
We'll express mail it to you, Mike.
Nice.
What's that?
The coffee.
The coffee? All right.
Overnight it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
When's this weather going to end, guys? Let's talk about the weather.
No, it's not.
Obsessive meteorologist.
Yeah.
Everybody's sick of the weather, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
Everybody keeps saying, like, spring is pushed back. Like, oh, spring is, when are we ever going to get a spring? I was like, well, for starters, spring is not for another 18 days or whatever.
Right.
And then on that day, it could be 75. It could be 75 degrees tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like the rotation of the Earth is slower. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess the orb. I didn't mean to say rotation.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just making chit chat and then I got berated. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome to the Obsessive Viewer Podcast. This week we are just gonna do a rundown of the Oscar, how we feel about the Oscars. Is gonna be short, I think, and then we're just gonna do a general discussion of pretty much anything we've been watching. Is that correct, guys? Is that good?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Nice.
Extended potpourri.
Yes. That's gonna be the title of the episode.
It's been like 3 or 4 episodes since we've done a proper potpourri, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've even done one.
And when that episode was up, it was the one that was all choppy and messed up. So, yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you to Star Tissue for providing the theme music. And also thank you to all the awesome podcasts that joined us for our Oscar discussion last week. I think that went really well.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to be on Movie Buzzed podcast pretty soon. I don't know when he's going to put the episode up, but he did a one-man viewing party. Zach from Movie Buzzed did, and it was cool because like he had people call in. So he called me and I talked to him a couple times during the Oscars, and it was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think of the 86th? Yeah.
Yep.
Annual Academy Awards?
Good times.
Nice.
I really liked the ceremony. You know, it's 2 different things you got to talk about. You know, who won what and stuff like that, and then the ceremony itself. So. This year, I think it was a really good ceremony. Sometimes it's not. Ellen DeGeneres has become my favorite Oscar host. It was Jon Stewart because I'm such a huge fan of his.
Mm-hmm. Jon Stewart the first year was great.
He was, yeah.
His second year, I think, lacked something.
I don't even remember his second year.
He's only done one, actually, hasn't he?
Really?
I thought he did 2.
I think he's only done the one.
I feel like he only did 1.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
If only there was some kind of database.
78th and 80th Oscars Academy Awards.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad.
He actually sandwiched Ellen.
Wow.
Huh.
Ellen's first one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Which one was Crash?
That's how forgettable his second one was.
Yeah. Was his first one Crash or?
Yes.
Okay. Huh.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Anyways, Ellen. Awesome. She's great. The whole thing with the pizza being delivered, like, I thought they were just kind of having a little joke, and then a guy shows up with pizzas. It was really funny, and, like, I think a less talented host that would not have worked at all. But because she's so good at like working people and like she can make any situation funny, that it absolutely worked because of that. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I loved her monologue. I loved her jabs at Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
I just thought that was just, it was perfect because she's not like other hosts. Like if you had like someone up there that was making jokes about the nominees, it would be playful and everything, but it would also kind of come across as a little sarcastic and snarky.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, but it was just this kind of gentle ribbing that was like, kind of like, oh yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. And if you guys are wondering, she fell down. Yeah, and then she fell down today. I don't, was it a cone or something? What was that?
Yeah.
It's just really like pleasant, and it was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah.
I liked, and one of the nominees is her, and by her I mean Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Nice.
The Liza Minnelli dig was pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was all good. I thought it was a good show.
Yeah. The performances too. Usually they're kind of snore fests, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Pink was awesome, singing "Somewhere Over the Rainbow."
Pink was good. Adele Dazeem was pretty good. Adele Dazeem. I did think that Pharrell is kind of like a poor man's Bruno Mars. Or not generally speaking. I don't think he's anything like Bruno Mars for the most part. But that performance of Happy sounded like a lesser Bruno Mars song.
Interesting.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm so unfamiliar with Bruno Mars.
I'm so unfamiliar with music.
Yeah. That's true. You're still listening to the same Motion City soundtrack CD.
Seriously.
That you got in college.
The same 5 ones are in my rotation in my car.
That's all right.
Yeah. So I basically know Motion City soundtrack and Star Tissue. That's about it.
Yeah. And thank you, Jade.
Oh, and thank you, Jade. Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Swimming for the summer.
But more importantly, winners and losers.
Yes.
I know you guys have some things to say about that.
Yes. I will start off by saying I kind of got I don't know. I got some resistance on this, I guess, but best documentary.
Yeah.
I can't speak with authority about it because I haven't seen the nominees. I'll preface it that way. But judging from this year's award and last year's, it seems like the voters are purposely avoiding like serious subject matter.
Yeah.
I mean, Mike, you saw The Search for Sugarman, right? Sugarman?
No, I did not.
No? Who did? Someone did. I've asked like 2 people. But it was apparently really good. And I will say, yes, okay, that's fine. And I'm sure that 20 Feet from Stardom is really good. But in terms of subject matter alone, if you view them as subject matter alone, last year we had The Invisible War, which was about women being raped in the military and it being just a really unreported issue. And then this year we had movies about genocide and war crimes and just revolution and stuff. And then they give it to a documentary about backup singers.
Right, but they're not judging it on subject matter alone.
I know, and that's why I can't speak with authority. I just mean, it just seems like I read an article that was an Academy voter basically gave like her reasoning for her votes, and it's like she didn't even watch 12 Years a Slave because she's an old woman and doesn't want bad things in her mind.
Ugh.
And like she wanted June Squibb to win because she was old, which, I mean, June Squibb I wanted to win. She was my pick, honestly. I thought she did a great job in Nebraska. And then she said that she voted for 20 Feet from Stardom because it was delightful.
Mm-hmm.
and then there was one other one that was like a glaring, just like, what are you doing kind of thing. But yeah, and it's just like, that's kind of seems like people give, that's why I don't take a lot of stock in the Oscars, is because people think that it's this really big thing that's really indicative of just like quality of the movies. And I mean, it's voted on by like 6,000 people who we don't know if they've even seen all of them. What I would like is to have like a council or something of people who actually review, like watch all of the movies and every nominee.
What one thing I like what Mike said, that the only thing they don't take the the importance of the subject matter is not the only factor.
Right.
I agree with that absolutely, but I feel like the Oscars has a bit of a responsibility as it is the epitome of film fame. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's not just for the United States, it's for the whole world. And I feel like they have a responsibility to pick things that are important as well. Like, I'm not saying that it has to be important if it's a really well-made and artistic documentary, I understand, but there were 3 other choices that were just so much more significant than 20 Feet Stardom. And also, just about the process, the logistics of making the films. If you look at 20 Feet from Stardom, you got people following around performers on stages and filming them. Yeah, that's what 20 Feet from Stardom was. The act of killing was a bunch of white people going into the country with the largest Muslim population in the world, where a mass genocide had taken place, and tricking these people into a documentary.
Yeah.
Dirty Wars was Jeremy Scahill, a white guy, going to Afghanistan and getting shot at with AK-47s. Literally, it's in the movie. He gets his life threatened a couple times, and then The Square was literally these people risking their lives to film this documentary in this incredibly volatile situation where 2 parties are colliding, and a lot of people actually died, and some of these people got hurt.
Yeah.
It's just, that's another thing to weigh. I'm just so offended by that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hollywood and the Academy have this propensity to vote for anything that has to do with celebrity, like their own thing. Like The Artist winning a couple years ago.
Yeah.
To me is a joke.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fine movie, but it was not the best movie of the year.
No.
But it was about movies.
Yeah. Exactly. And I'm glad, Tiny, that you mentioned that, because I know that you can speak with more authority about it because you've actually seen the documentaries.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the problem I have with it, is that they're not judging it they're judging it from the perspective of their kind of, I mean, it's no question that Hollywood is kind of cut off, it's kind of its own entity. Like they exist in Hollywood, and they only view it as Hollywood. That's one of the reasons why The Wire didn't get hardly any recognition in terms of Emmys or anything, because like I read an article when The Wire was on, saying that the reason that it didn't get the acclaim and viewership and awards and everything that it
deserved.
It completely deserved. I almost said arguably, but there's no argument. I mean, it's one of the greatest things ever to be put on television. But the reason is because people in Hollywood don't see it being filmed. It was filmed in Baltimore, and it's because it's not in their consciousness of seeing it being filmed on their street, or it's in like locales that they're familiar with. And that's not an accurate way to judge something, or it's not an accurate way to do something like that. So
right.
I don't know. So that's kind of a big gripe that I have with these award ceremonies and everything. And I mean, people will say like, "Oh, hey, well, that was nominated for an Oscar. That won the Oscar for that." It's like, but what does that really say in terms of its quality?
Yeah.
Well, I think the nomination says a lot about a movie.
Well, yeah, maybe I misspoke, but the wins. But then again, I mean,
with a category like Best Documentary, the nomination does not mean as much as like an actor being nominated.
right?
Because Best Documentary, people only care about the one that won, really, for the most part.
Yeah, and when people say like, well, they're not judging it on subject matter or anything like that, it's like that's fine and everything. But then in the back of my head, I'm like, how many more documentaries were there that depicted something that was of cultural significance and a very timeliness and was very important that got snubbed because this documentary about backup dancers got the nomination.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. That's true.
But I don't know.
A lot of I don't know what the ratio is, what the numbers like. I haven't seen the pie chart of who's who of the Academy voters.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine, and my understanding is that a lot of it is filmmakers rather than just the actors. And I think they take more stock than we do in the production value of the movie and how well the movie was made. It's kind of my argument last week about why I thought, and by the way, I'm going to put a feather in my own cap. I'm proud of myself for my Best Director, Best Picture picks there for Alfonso Cuarón. And I think that's why, and I said last week I thought it was a better filmed movie. It was a better done movie. But of course, 12 Years a Slave was more important. But I think the voters pay more attention to that stuff. And like I said, I did not see any of the documentaries. Maybe they just thought, none of us are filmmakers, so maybe there's something we're not seeing about 20 feet from the stage or 20 feet from stardom. So I don't know. Matt, it's why you never seem to win the Oscar pools.
I know.
Because I don't think you would be good at stocks.
Not at all. Not even a little bit. It's one of those things where and granted, I have to say, I haven't seen any of the Best Documentary nominees from this year or last year. I'm actually planning on going and watching like as many of them or all of them, and then maybe posting something on the blog about it, because that's how bothered I was by it, because Hollywood or the Oscars, they give statues to certain things. I don't think anyone would argue against the notion that Crash winning Best Picture was a political thing, because they, in my eyes, it was basically they had, okay, well, we have this, I think I said this on the Movie Buzz podcast that you can check out. But you basically have Brokeback Mountain and Crash. It's like, okay, well, let me vote for this. It could either go to the movie about gay people or the movie about racism. Which one's going to play better? And that's how I feel. That's how I feel that they voted for that one, because Crash was a perfectly fine movie, but Brokeback Mountain, man, it just blew it out of the water.
It's in my top 3 of the 2000s.
Absolutely. And it's an objective opinion. That's our own opinion, but it's absolute fact. No, it's something that is widely regarded as the majority. I just don't see how the Academy could have felt differently.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
It really is.
It also makes you wonder if at the time our judgment might be clouded by time, because it was snubbed and a lot of people have spoken up about how Brokeback Mountain should have won. I can't remember 2005, and I can't remember which had more buzz or what was the favorite going in. Today, we agree fully. And I agreed back then. I thought Brokeback Mountain was a better movie. Yeah. Today, most of the people you hear from are people saying, well, Brokeback Mountain was such a better movie. That's because the Crash fans don't have to speak up anymore. Mm-hmm. So it makes me wonder if there were clearly there were back then, but there must have been a larger faction of people who thought that was a better movie, and I guess it's it's up for opinion. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah. It's
Good
hard
point.
to say. That is a good point. I feel like Crash had the hype, but it was under a very large or very vocal minority saying, why does this have so much hype?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, it's the same with Jennifer Lawrence getting nominated because I haven't seen this, so I feel like I'm a douchebag for speaking on it or whatever, but I've heard a lot of people say that, oh, Jennifer Lawrence got nominated because they like Jennifer Lawrence.
I agree with that.
I say that too.
Right?
I agree with that.
And I mean, things like, I don't know. We've spent way too much time talking about that. Let's talk about the actual winners and everything.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of Crash and think it deserved the Best Picture nominee or Best Picture,
it certainly deserved
year.
a nomination.
Yeah. But if you believe that Crash was deserved Best Picture, shoot us an email at ovpodcast@gmail.com. And we'll watch as our inbox gets flooded.
Yeah. So I think we're okay with a lot of the choices. Like I bet you guys are okay with Gravity with Best Film Editing.
Yeah.
Best Original Score, Gravity. I think that's a toss up, but I'm okay with Gravity. Production design for Great Gatsby makes sense. Gravity, sound editing, sound mixing makes sense. Visual effects, absolutely Gravity. Absolutely. Yeah. Best adapted, 12 Years a Slave. Best original, so glad her won that.
I just want to stop right there. I'm happy with the writing categories. I was
me too.
Both of them.
Yeah, me too. Those are fantastic.
Yeah, I was floored. I was absolutely floored because her is just an amazing script, and of course, 12 Years a Slave, which I've heard apparently Steve McQueen and John Ridley are on the outs or whatever, because I guess it goes that I guess Steve McQueen did some worked with him to adapt it, and then he asked to get a shared credit, and then he politely declined, but I guess there was a rift between them after that.
So I think there are three that we really need to talk about. And I'll start with Best Actor in a Leading Role. Goes to Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And I tweeted out the moment it happened. I really love Matthew McConaughey. We've talked a lot about what he's doing. I think he's probably going to win an Emmy next year
I hope so.
for True Detective. And he has had an amazing 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But for Dallas Buyers Club, in comparison to Chiwetel Ejiofor in 12 Years a Slave, there is no comparison.
Yeah, I agree.
You're right. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey is a really, really strong number 2.
Yeah.
But Chiwetel Ejiofor that's how good he was. He was even better. That's I agree.
Yep. He won. That's a political one. That's one where I'm like, oh, Academy voters, come on. Yeah. They're recognizing True Detective. They're recognizing Magic Mike, Mud, Killer Joe. They're recognizing what Matthew McConaughey has done recently and not taking a look at Dallas Buyers Club, which was a great, great movie. And Matthew McConaughey was really good in it, but he wasn't Chiwetel Ejiofor in 12 Years a Slave.
Right. Was Magic Mike really that a good performance for him?
It was. That was kind of the start. That was the kickoff of the reconnaissance.
Huh.
Reconnaissance. I love it.
It's not my word. I wish it was, but it's not.
That's awesome.
So I was happy for McConaughey. I really liked his speech, and I like the thought that this success is going to continue for him.
Yeah.
But I was really hoping, a win for Ejiofor would just kind of launch him.
Yeah.
Me too.
I was really thinking that 12 Years a Slave was going to sweep, and I got really nervous that Gravity was going to win Best Picture.
Yeah.
And I say that being a person who, the day of the Oscars, I watched Gravity for the 4th time in my life, after watching it for 3 times in the theater. I love that movie so much, but it wasn't Best Picture worthy for me.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it didn't win, but I got really nervous. I was tensed up because I was like, I knew I lost my Oscar pool, which let's not talk about that.
Which movie did you enjoy better? When you left the theater, did you have a better, now I can't say a happier experience, that's a stupid question, but did you have a better experience after Gravity or 12 Years a Slave? Which movie had more O's in your wow?
Well,
because I ask,
they were very.
I ask because it kind of goes against kind of what you've been arguing about in the first place, or maybe not. Maybe it kind of supports your theory, but kind of goes with your the Academy went the right way with your argument early on, right? That the more important movie should win. But I bet your wow had more O's for Gravity.
Well,
it certainly did for me.
They're two unique theater experiences for me, because Gravity like blew my mind in terms of visual style and acting. I really loved Clooney in that movie.
Yeah.
But in terms of substance, I've made the argument several times before that there was the whole story of her losing her daughter and all that stuff and kind of her like gaining back her life or whatever as she's fighting to survive. It was really, really in our face.
You know, when I first saw the movie and texted you, I said, I loved it a lot, but I had some narrative issues. I think your response was, really? I was more floored by the theater experience. I've seen it 4 times now, so I know the movie from beginning to end. I don't blame you.
Backwards and forwards.
I don't blame you. And over time, and I haven't seen it since the first time, my love for it has only grown.
Yeah. And then compare that to 12 Years a Slave, which was one of the most just... I don't think I've quite had a theater experience like that, where I'm so moved by a movie and so... I mean... I'm so moved. I was so moved by the movie and so just jarred by just the non-Hollywoodness of it. How it's just unrelenting and very, very true in its depiction. And the writing, I love the writing of it. Yeah. But like these were all things that I was considering while I'm watching it, and I would say I probably had a stronger opinion of 12 Years a Slave coming out of the theater than I did Gravity.
Okay.
Although it was pretty close.
Yeah.
But
I'm just curious. For the sake of conversation. I have to give my wife credit. She said whenever we saw 12 Years a Slave, she said right there, I think the first words after probably 5 minutes of silence were from her, and I think she was like, that's the best movie of the year.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
You married a good one, Mike.
Yes. I did. She knew. She knew.
For me, it's similar to Matt's. My theater experience was amazing for Gravity, but I feel like Gravity, it was in my mind and it was present for like a day or two, but like 12 Years a Slave still sticks with me now, and I've still only seen it once.
I agree.
And
fully.
It's just a different, and the movies aren't really that comparable at all. I mean, the only theme they share is that there's a main character trying to get back to somewhere.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that you could really say is similar between the two movies. They're different in every other single way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. And as much as I loved Gravity, I do remember just as I was watching it, I remembered when they introduced kind of Sandra Bullock's backstory. I was kind of like, okay, this is gonna be the big driving force of the movie and her arc and everything. And I was trying to connect it to kind of the bigger themes of Children of Men, Alfonso Cuarón's previous one, and thinking like that movie was incredible and it had a lot to say about a lot of things. So that's why I was kind of left a little bothered by the fact that it was kind of Gravity was a little hollow for me that way.
Yeah. The greatest win of the night, and I think you guys agree, was not 12 Years a Slave. It was not Matthew McConaughey. It was not her for best screenplay. It was Us, because American Hustle didn't win anything.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that movie was stupid. That's it. No one will talk about that movie anymore.
Yeah.
Thank gosh.
I still haven't seen it. I was going to see it. I had just a bad day Sunday because I woke up. I'd slept on my glasses, weirdly enough. So now my glasses are all messed up. But it's weird. But anyway, and then from there, it was just a bad day. I was like, okay, I can go to the theater. I can see American Hustle and Philomena and do like a double feature, and that'll just leave. I don't even remember what the other one was that I did. Oh, that'll just leave Captain Phillips. And then I got thinking like, okay, well, I can rent Captain Phillips from the PlayStation Network and watch it while I'm waiting to go see to the theater to see the other two, and I can just squeeze them in. But then PlayStation Network is such a pain because I changed my PlayStation. I'm going on a tangent, but I couldn't get it through there. I ran out of time to go to the theater. Eventually, I was just like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to watch Gravity because I love this movie. And it helped. It was good. And even then, I kind of had some thoughts about Warner Brothers' Blu-ray release of Gravity. I didn't think it was as pristine looking as it could have been.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, just the picture quality. Like, there's some close-ups of Sandra Bullock where you see the white of the spacesuit is almost grainy. It's kind of fuzzy is the way I would use to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just not something that in this day and age should ever be an issue on an HD TV.
Yeah.
But I mean, the movie's great and I love it. And the Blu-ray is just fine. It looks like the special features are going to be good too, which is something I can't say about 12 Years a Slave, because I got the Blu-ray in the mail today and I looked on the back and there's like 3 special features. Yeah, which is such a bummer.
Yeah.
But maybe there's some.
How often do you watch all of the special features on a Blu-ray?
I really want to make a concentrated effort to watch more. I
look at my movie collection, and you know how I talked about how I have the stack of movies that I've purchased but haven't watched, which is only down to 3 movies right now, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm perfectly comfortable with them. And I look at the hours of the hours of film on those DVDs and Blu-rays. And I'm like, man, I've consumed a lot of that. And then I think about all the stickers on the front that say 4 hours of bonus content. And I'm like, man, there is so much on those I have yet to watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that, it's funny, I'm actually more inclined to watch special features on TV releases. Like the Boardwalk Empire Blu-rays I have, I basically, the second I got them is when season 4 was still airing. So I felt kind of like, okay, I can't start from the beginning because, you know, season 4 is still airing. So I went through each season and watched all the special features, and they're great releases too. But and same with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is another thing that, like, also HBO, man. HBO just puts out just incredible releases, except for The Wire, which is kind of bare bones. But
and you got to pay for it.
Wait, what?
You got to pay for it. They're expensive.
Oh, yeah, you got to pay for it. I thought you said I got paid for it. I was like, wait, I did?
No.
No, but Game of Thrones is like, they have like a running thing that on every episode you can have a pop-up kind of thing with information about the mythology and all that. And I was like, I'm going to watch every episode with this. And it's like, after the first episode, it's like, it took me 2 hours to watch this episode.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch all of them, but I did watch the special features and everything because it's a fascinating way that they put it together. Maybe it's because it's so much more time is spent on a TV show, and I feel like it's more interesting to me to watch them put together a show for several episodes and several weeks and several months, as opposed to a movie that has a schedule and 2-hour runtime. I don't know, and I love commentaries, and that's something that I didn't get to watch a lot of last year, but I love them. And was meaning to watch more. Like I just bought, fairly recently, I bought the Indiana Jones collection on Blu-ray and, the Jurassic Park trilogy. And I intend on watching all of them and reviewing them, kind of like how I did the Alien anthology last year. I just need to find the time.
Time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Time.
Yep.
It's all flat, and we're in a fourth dimension.
It is.
Can we talk about True Detective?
Please.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Matt hasn't watched
What is
them.
it? Any of it?
I haven't watched past episode 4. I'm so sorry.
Episode 5 is the best one.
I'm so sorry.
I knew you were going to say that.
I promise I will watch. It'll be my potpourri next week.
So do you get that reference then? I feel like that was episode 5.
I can't remember.
When
It
he
had
crushes the can.
Yeah, I didn't see that. No
Everything
spoilers,
looks
please.
flat. Damned if that's not the best show on TV right now.
It's incredible. Episode 4. Can we talk about that, guys?
Sure.
From like a month ago?
Yeah.
No, that long take.
Yeah.
Was just
one of the best things I've ever seen.
You gotta explain it again. It's been
it's been so long.
It's been a month since I saw it.
The extent, like the long take where
the tracking shot at the end of the episode where they Rust Cole goes undercover and they go and like to rob that house. It's the finale of the
yeah.
It's amazing.
I watched that probably enough times to watch episode 5. Because it was so impressive.
The way
That's
I watched
That's a standout, but it is also it's not very indicative of the tone of the whole show.
It's really not.
Not
it's
at
really
all.
not. It was just really impressive from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
The way I watch that show is I just watch it on demand from HBO.
Uh-huh.
And one of the nice things about that is at the end of every episode, they have it's something that HBO does with all their series. They have interviews with the showrunners and filmmakers.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
And it's just like, they have like a little 5-minute thing at the end of every single episode where they talk about the episode. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
And so I've been watching all those, and Brett Williman, is that his name? The writer of it, Williman.
You might be
the whole
mistaken.
thing. Nick Pizzolatto.
Nick Pizzolatto. Bo Williman. He's from House of Cards.
I'm stupid. Anyways,
that's all right.
I watched both of those at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyways, that guy,
Nick
Pizzolatto. He was saying that if you notice in the present day scenes where the two detectives are interviewing Rust Cole, he's drinking the whole time. That makes anything that he's saying inadmissible in court.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
he chose to start drinking for a reason.
Yeah.
Because everything that he says is inadmissible because it can't be used because he's compromised.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't even think of that.
That's really clever.
And I have a degree in criminal justice.
Yeah. Tiny, are you up to date? Have you watched episode 7?
I have.
I promise, guys. I swear, I will watch him.
You will. Yeah, you will.
I will. Yeah.
You must. And listeners, if you are not and you're thinking about it, don't wait.
Yeah. It's the best show. It's the best 4 episodes I've seen.
I'm worried about next season.
I'm kind of curious how they're going to do that. They haven't really made any announcements, have they?
No,
I'm so out of touch.
Yeah.
No announcements. And also, I can't imagine it. The show is excellent. The writing is amazing. The photography is amazing. But a lot of what I love is Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
And I'll miss that element.
If you guys listen to my talk with Tank from Todd Penny Movie Podcast a couple weeks ago here on the podcast, we were talking about it, and he mentioned that it would be cool to see next season a like kind of a De Niro Pacino kind of dynamic. Not necessarily them, but kind of like aging guys with a case from like the 60s or 50s or something.
Be cool.
Which would be very interesting, I think.
Are they going to stick with the format, or we're going to meet them present day and then the cases from the past?
That's tricky. I don't know. I would like it if they did, because there's a lot of different eras that they could cover.
Yeah.
And it would be really interesting to see that.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
There's so much more to say, Matt. I think we just have to leave this.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll watch them, and then maybe we can just do like a B-roll thing for it or something. Because I'll make it a priority. Although I still need to watch Bates Motel, because I was hoping to review each episode, but that might be a little hard to do because I'm reviewing each episode of House of Cards as I watch them, which you can find at obsessiveviewer.com. So yeah, what else have we been watching?
Oh,
Oh,
Tiny. I'm
You
sorry.
go ahead.
I'm doing a lot of talking. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say I watched Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah.
That really, really shocks me.
I know. I don't know. I wanted to love it. I really did. I really wanted to love it, but I just came out of it thinking, if you took away the performances, if you took away Matthew McConaughey's performance and Jared Leto's performance, if you just completely ignored their performances, what is there in the movie? You have the guy is a bigot and he changes, yeah, but I feel like his transformation wasn't really shown quite as well.
I agree. That's my complaint about the movie.
Yeah, and then
It's too quick. It's like he hates gays, and then all of a sudden he's protecting them in the grocery store.
yeah, exactly, yeah, and with Jared Leto's is it Leto or Leto?
It's Leto.
Jared Leto's character, I feel like he was not written quite like if you take away the performance, what is the character? The character is this a transvestite with AIDS, and there's one scene with his dad, and that's
Which was fantastic.
Oh, it was a great scene, but I feel like there wasn't much substance to the actual character. There wasn't anything really like Tiny. When I mentioned that to Tiny, you said he was a canvas for, what did you say?
He existed only as a catalyst for Matthew McConaughey's character to go through a change.
Right.
That was his almost exclusive purpose in the film.
Right. Which, that's okay, but I just want more development of major characters, I guess.
And there was some development with him, though, when he goes to see his dad.
Yeah, that was like the one thing.
And the way he interacted with the doctors, how he didn't necessarily care about his disease that much because it was going to kill him anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I am so shocked to hear you say that because you said okay, you take away the performances and you take away the development of Maddie Mac's character.
No, not even that. You can keep the development of Maddie Mac in there.
Okay, what else you have is a really, really bold statement about how people with AIDS are treated, especially in the 80s. And you have an incredible story about what one guy did about it. That's what you have.
Yeah.
I loved the story. I thought it was so cool how this guy stood up to large pharmaceutical corporations.
And that was another thing, is I feel like I honestly, I actually didn't even know that it was a true story until the ending.
Yeah.
But the way that he stood up to pharmaceutical companies, that was great. That was my favorite part of the movie, honestly. When he goes to that, what was it, like kind of a meeting or something?
It was a way for the pharmaceutical company to get guinea pigs, essentially,
there you
to try out their drug.
Yeah, which that was a shocking thing about the placebos early on in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if they wanted to depict him fighting the pharmaceutical companies more, I feel like they could have done a little more with that. Pretty much the entire movie for me was they could have done a little more. Pretty much around, unless except for the acting.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Because he drives down to Mexico. There's that whole point where he's in Mexico.
I know
that when he gets picked up, that's my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
When he's talking to the interrogator on the border.
Maybe I need to see it again.
I think maybe you do. I'm just shocked to hear you say that.
It just didn't affect me the way that I expected it to. It kind of felt like, I don't know.
And it like another evolution of his character is how in the beginning he's just so completely selfish. You know, he just wants to just not die. It's an incredibly selfish thing he's going on. Of course, you know, we all want to survive, but he doesn't really care about how it affects other people. But by the end, he has this incredibly legitimate and worthy cause that he's valuing. You could almost say he's valuing it over his life.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another evolution we see his character go through. And I think Matthew McConaughey played it incredibly well. Again, that's talking about the performance, but still, I think that's another evolution of his character that we get to see. And I think the primary evolution of his character, of how he becomes more accepting of gay people, I don't think he changes that much. I mean, he changes somewhat, and I think he was incredibly attached to that one gay person, Jared Leto's character. But I don't know if he's ready to go through like a million-man march and go in a gay pride parade or anything like that.
Right.
So I don't think he really changed that much to where you can make the argument that that's the only thing. That's how I feel.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it a second. I have a list of things I need to watch again.
I thought Jennifer Garner should have been nominated for an Oscar as well. I think that's probably maybe the best I've seen her.
Maybe, but that race was so tight. I'm okay with how the actress in a supporting role went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too. I don't think she should have won, but
yeah.
Over Jennifer Lawrence, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm sure from everything that I heard. Yeah, but I don't know. I was just so kind of just lukewarm about the movie. At the end, I can't really. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention.
Yeah, you may have been distracted or something.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen, by the way, the I saw it on YouTube or Yahoo. I can't remember what it is. I'm looking for the website right now. But they had the reactions of all the people when the major categories were announced.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had like even the actors and actresses. And they're really hilarious. My favorite is Bruce Dern, who is a little salty, I think.
Yeah.
about his not win.
Right.
They're kind of funny. I'll try to find the link before this episode goes up so we can post it.
I'll put it in the show notes too.
Just throw it it's funny.
Pod chat.
So, more importantly than all this, I saw Ride Along last week.
Awesome.
How'd that go?
You know what? It was kind of good.
Nice.
It was kind of good. Yeah, I like Kevin Hart. Ice Cube was his regular Ice Cube-y overacting self. And he gets on my nerves so much, so often. But Kevin Hart was really good, and it was funny, and it took some twists and turns like a buddy cop-ish type movie does.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it.
Cool.
Yeah. Nice. It was a good, I'll say it was good for February. Which we all know is the kind of the doldrums of movie release. That's a really good
assessment.
That's like the lowest compliment you can give him.
That's barely giving it a compliment.
Yeah.
But you know what I'll say? Actually, this February, I look at last February, and it was really, really pretty awful. Mm-hmm. Okay. And this year actually has been quite good.
Okay.
I saw the Lego movie, which I know you had some things to say about that, Matt.
Yeah.
RoboCop, which I liked a lot.
Oh, nice.
And Lone Survivor, which was
saw that
for February. Yeah, I saw it.
I wouldn't even say it was that good for February.
You don't think so?
I was so disappointed in that movie, and we've talked a lot about it, but
yeah.
Did you get the whole kind of propaganda kind of thing from it? Like kind of...
You know, I kind of, because I went in with so much expectation from you and everything I've read, I was like, okay, I don't care if this is a true story or not. Mm-hmm. I don't care if they're trying to get me to enlist. I'm going to see the performances and the photography.
Okay.
And especially the ambush scene, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
As a whole, it was okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I say it was good for February. Yeah. It was all right enough.
Okay. You are absolutely going to agree with this, I'm sure. But when reading all the hype around it, all the promotional material, they said we just wanted to honor the people that died. Do you feel like they actually did that, or that they told their story?
That's hard to say.
They showed. My thing is that they showed how they died. They did that pretty extensively.
Yeah.
But we didn't get much of anything about the characters. We got their dynamic between them, and all that. But we got it seemed like each one had just one thing of exposition and one thing of background that was it was kind of cumbersome in the script. Okay, yeah, oh, hey, she wants a pony, or she wants a horse or something. Mm-hmm. And, she's remodeling, and it's like, okay, now you know that they have people at home, so now let's watch them die. It was kind of that kind of thing. And it just rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very weird that Marcus Luttrell was in the movie.
Yeah, me too.
He was in the movie, wasn't he?
He was in it way too much.
He has lines in it.
He has lines, plural.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even pick up on him in the
trouble.
movie.
I guess I am talking a little bit about the validity of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to me that someone who went through so much would want to relive it again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who was he in the movie?
He was another one of the soldiers. He died actually on the helicopter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so. I don't know. I don't know. And there's no way for me to know how true it is or anything like that. But that's just. And did you get the impression that the debate of what to do with the farmers and stuff was just didn't seem real at all?
Or written to make Marcus sound like the good guy?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
definitely.
was just.
It seemed glorified. Really
Absolutely.
Glorified.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. I also. I'll say this about the performances. Ben Foster was not as amazing as he usually is. Mm-hmm. I really love Ben Foster, and he was kind of all right. I guess that's subject matter. I'm starting to really hate Emil Hirsch. And it's a shame that Taylor Kitsch can't find a good movie, because he's pretty likable.
He really is. He's got a movie star kind of quality to him.
Definitely.
But he just can't find his movie.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He needs to find his Point Break.
Yeah. He needs to find his Matrix.
He kind of looks like Keanu Reeves, talks like Timothy Oliphant, and looks like, I don't know, a prettier version of both of them.
Yeah.
It was funny when you said talks like Timothy Oliphant, me and Tiny damn near squeed. We damn near swooned. I could hear it. No, but I liked him a lot in Friday Night Lights.
Yeah. That was good for him. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm pulling for him. I really am. But as far as Ben Foster is concerned, or any of them really, I feel like they didn't have a lot to work with in the script.
No, they didn't.
Oh, yeah, they definitely didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've given too much time to this movie.
I think we have.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys see RoboCop?
No.
No, not yet.
Okay. Well, I'll leave it alone.
I did see Nonstop, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing that tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
I actually, when this episode airs, I will have seen the movie.
Oh, nice.
And I am so very excited.
Okay. I won't say anything about it then.
Okay.
I think I might work on a review for it, though.
Okay. Don't post it until Thursday.
Okay. Oh, I procrastinate all the time. It'll be out in like 3 months.
I watched The Iceman recently.
Oh, nice, with Michael Shannon.
Yes,
nice.
Which is something I was hugely looking forward to, because I actually read the book that it's based on, about the real life, the true crime book. And the book is absolutely amazing. The story itself is just an incredible story. It's really disturbing, and I was ultimately very disappointed with the movie. The performances were really good. It was kind of nice to see Chris Evans in something not so glossy.
Nice.
He was kind of a, not like they weren't emphasizing how handsome he is and all that stuff. Michael Shannon was awesome. He brought it just like he does in every performance he gives.
Mm-hmm.
I even liked, Winona Ryder. She was good as well.
Okay.
One of the better roles I've seen her in. But the filmmakers and the scriptwriter really dropped the ball on the story and the characters.
Wow.
This guy killed well over 100 people over like 30 or 40 years, and he did it in absolutely disturbing, awful ways. This guy was like just textbook evil. He was incredibly abusive towards his family, and they just did not put that in the character at all. They made him a sympathetic character. It was the most ridiculous choice I've ever seen as far as a character like that, because like this guy, after reading the book, this guy was just the epitome of evil. Just like he would have been right at home in a Nazi concentration camp.
Wow.
Like this guy was just the epitome of evil.
Huh.
And they made the character in the film sympathetic. It really irked me a lot.
Yeah.
He was like a family man that just happened to kill people for a living. Really dropped the ball. I was really disappointed, but looked good. Performances were really good, but ultimately very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Mike, what was the big bomb that was dropped in How I Met Your Mother?
Should we see
Did you watch it?
Hey guys, just wanted to break into the episode and let you know that we are about to spoil the episode of How I Met Your Mother titled Vesuvius that aired on March 3rd of 2014. If you haven't seen it, skip ahead and go ahead and check the show notes for where to skip ahead. Thank you.
I did watch it. Was it Ted crying at the end?
Yeah. Well, it was why he was crying at the end.
Ted being a little bitch about his mom.
Well, it's not his mom.
Wait.
It's his kid's mom.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know what? In your defense, I had the same reaction. But she's talking about herself. And think back. In episode 20 of season 8, when he goes back and wants to spend 45 more days with her.
Right.
Well, he wants to spend as many days as possible with her because she's going to die.
You know, that's been a popular theory.
Mm-hmm.
And I can, and they're making this whole thing out. Like, I guess I've stopped reading pretty much all the internets about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently they said like, oh, there's going to be a twist at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And so everyone's all like, oh, what's the twist? Is there an apocalypse or something?
A twist at the end of the series, or was this about last night's episode?
I don't know if it was about last night's episode or not, but this has been going on for a while, so it might have been.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I think it was like an abstract kind of thing.
I gotcha. Just looking at the way she said things, she said, what kind of mother wouldn't be at her daughter's wedding? And of course, Ted would not cry about his mother coming to her daughter's wedding. And they also do that moment where, sometimes the tough moments you just kind of sit in silence and enjoy the moment, and they both kind of do a little smirk. I think she's dying.
Huh.
Man, that's gonna suck.
I know. I really don't like it.
Me neither.
I really, really hate it.
And I don't know. I don't like it because it feels like that's playing into the hands of pretty much all the whacked out theories and stuff. It would be almost the same. I would have the same reaction if that happened. Oh, well, nearly the same reaction if that happened than if Robin ended up being the mother.
Yeah. Yeah, Carter Bays and Craig Thomas must be pissed with whatever new showrunner is doing this to their show. I'm kidding, of course, listeners. I know that it's still them.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just really so against what the show has been about. It's so unnecessary.
It is. I'll play devil's advocate. I can see why they would do it. Especially since I've made mention that it's, I mean, they set it up, they set up her backstory to have a guy, her ex die or whatever. So maybe she's going to be this tragic character, but that you're right. That doesn't really mesh well with the show.
Yeah. So it's just Life is cyclical. It's round, but it's flat. And it happens over and over again.
Very nice. Very
Thanks.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to add an extra layer of significance to their relationship, if that is the case, and it's just not necessary.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean,
it scares me that they're building up for like him to get with Robin.
I hope not, man. I really that's been one of the biggest problems with the shows, this dependency on the Ted and Robin of it all.
Yeah, especially the last 2 seasons.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's closed the door on her so many times, or it's
supposedly.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
It's scary. I these last 2 years, the ending is really why I've been watching the show. I mean, everybody knows it's kind of dipped in quality.
It has, yeah.
I still like it, and we've kind of talked about it before. I still like it. I laugh plenty.
Yeah.
But I've stuck with it, and I get excited week to week because I'm ready to see how it ends.
Right.
And if she dies, man, what a downer. It kind of destroys any replay value the show has.
Almost, yeah. Well, yeah, because my entire like mindset while watching this is like the sitcom. It's like that they're writing it as a romantic comedy, as a rom-com.
Exactly.
And it's that I've watched it under that thing, and it's not. I mean, they said that they, in the lead up to season 9, they were like, well, what we're going to show you this season is that How I Met Your Mother is actually a drama in disguise. And we got that in the 200th episode with How Your Mother Met Me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a cruel...
It's too much.
It is, especially with all the crap that Ted's gone through. I mean, why would they... I don't know. I wonder, how does the timeline set up? Because that's 6 years before... It was 2024. That was 6 years before he starts telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what kind of statement they're going to make out of it.
It gives an interesting significance... Sorry, Mike.
That's okay.
It gives an interesting significance to the overall, I guess, reason for the show, though. I mean, or the reason for the premise of the show, like it gives an interesting, a little bit more significance as to why Ted is telling his kids the story of how he met their mother.
Right.
It does give it more significance, but I don't think it's quite. Again, I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, there is that.
Huh.
It makes sense. I can imagine them saying, well, their mother has died, and he's gonna explain all the years that got him there. And then the show, I think, turned into something a little happier than they expected.
Yeah.
And they've made us love the mother too much.
Right.
To do that.
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe
West Side.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be good. Yeah. If that's the direction they take it, when we watch it, maybe we'll be like, you know what? That was actually a really interesting, creative choice, and I like it.
Or maybe it's a red herring.
Hopefully it's a red herring.
Yeah. And maybe
hopefully his mom died.
Yeah. Man, I hope that guy's mom's dead.
That's the worst thing ever.
It really is.
Well, I'm sorry. I was kind of in your guys' boat where I didn't think about that. I even texted my brother, and he's like, it makes Ted look bad. And I was like, makes Ted look bad? He's like, yeah, Ted's a whiny bitch. And I was like, dude, take another look. And I didn't even think about it until I started reading reviews about it this morning. And that's where they're going. There are so many clues that lead to the fact that she's dead.
I'm impressed you put it together. I wasn't even thinking that way.
I
didn't until I read reviews.
Oh. Okay.
Just take the damn compliment.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Kidding. I mean, I had to do my fair share of arguing with a couple people, but I finally settled on
nice
my theory.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know. People have been saying for years, like, oh, the mother's dead, and it kind of seems like it's always seemed incongruous to what the show is for me, because it's a happy show. Like you said, it's a happy show, and it's kind of this thing that's, and maybe it's selfish of me, but I don't want it to turn into something that it's heading toward.
Yeah.
Because that I can't get on board with it. I think it's a red herring, or I think it's just something that they put in for that. I think his mom's dead, because if it doesn't necessarily, I mean, it will, if that happens, it will destroy the replay value, like you said, to an extent, for me at least, but what it'll do more is it'll dampen significantly the moment that we've been heading toward for the last 9 years. In the last, and I feel like the moment when he actually meets her is going to be just marred by this. Oh, hey, she's going to die though. You spent a decade finding her, and now she's going to be dead. Have fun, Teddy.
I don't know. We didn't need it.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
Yeah. It's the same with all these theories saying that maybe you're right. Saying that Barney's dead too.
There, explain those.
There's because we never see Barney in the future, and we never see, he never references him. He never, like, all the times that we've seen like flash forwards of like, okay, Ted and Marshall and Lily, and I think Robin at some point too. But the only like future Barney thing we saw was like last week when he was in the future with Robin hungover. Other than that, there's not really any example. There's nothing to show that he's alive when Ted is telling the story.
Sure, right.
So maybe they are kind of leaning towards Ted and Robin are going to end up together after they're both widowed, which I don't know. And then, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Robin will have kids. So that'll be nice for her. But, ugh.
Ted will finally have Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
After having her for a year.
Yeah.
Already happened, didn't really work out, but whatever.
Yeah. It's just ugly and scary. I don't like the thought of it.
It is. And I like the episode.
I did. I was going to say, I really liked the episode a lot up until that point.
Yeah.
What was the name of the episode? I can't even...
Vesuvius.
Vesuvius, yeah.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's in reference to. Did they have anything...
I don't know.
Did they build the title around this big moment?
I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
Me neither. I mean, it was a pretty kind of straightforward episode. What was the Ted story? The Wedding Bride 2, the suits, Robin. I don't know. Huh.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah.
Did Vesuvius erupt like without notification? I don't know what the word is. Right? I mean, it doesn't happen randomly, and I guess the news that she died or dies is pretty random. Vesuvius. Vasectomy.
Vesuvius, that was the volcano that buried Pompeii, right?
It was.
Okay.
And it makes me think of that couple. You know how they found the bones of the couple embracing each other?
Right.
Which is kind of like one of the famous photos from Pompeii.
Right.
But they're not going to die together, Ted and the mother.
Maybe he'll kill himself.
I hope he kills himself.
Jesus.
God damn it.
Yeah. It's got to be his mom. It has to be.
Matt, you're hoping so hard.
I really, really am. I do not want her to die.
No. It's awful. Think of all the things. I mean, it is more than just a crazy theory now. After last night, it is more than just a crazy theory.
Yeah.
It is now the most probable thing.
Yeah.
A red herring would make you go, that's weird that they did that.
Maybe the daughter is like really sick and they think she's gonna die in
Oh, I
2024.
hope the daughter dies. Or yeah.
Me too. Well, Kick-Ass will save her.
Yeah. Or maybe no. I was gonna say maybe they had a daughter before the one that we see that like dies, and then she's the second daughter, the one that we see. But no, that she'd be too young.
Yeah, she'd be too
Or
young.
maybe the mother survives whatever it is.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Ugh. And I'm reading the actual like the phrasing of it, and that's just, it gives me a chill. Damn it.
Yep.
What mother is gonna miss her daughter's wedding?
Exactly.
Right. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I think she's gonna die, guys.
Yeah, that's got to be especially noteworthy from your perspective, Mike, being a newlywed. I don't mean to dredge up feelings or anything.
Right.
No,
What I'm trying to say is I understand why you would really not like it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, funny enough, I hadn't thought of it that way. She and I watched it together, and when we went to bed, we were like, that was really weird that they added the thing about Ted's mom at the end, and that's it. But I haven't really hung out with Amanda since I read all about it. But that subconsciously, that might be part of why I have such a problem with it.
Yeah.
More than that, though, storytelling wise, I don't like it.
That's what I was gonna say. I have a problem with it just from a storytelling perspective.
Okay.
Tiny, how do you feel about it overall?
I don't know. I think it could be kind of again give an extra level of significance, but I'm inclined to say that I don't know if that's necessary. But even if it's not necessary, maybe it could be interesting. Maybe they could structure it really well. Maybe it could be really fun to watch. I don't know how it could be fun. But, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It would be interesting if it went that direction. I'd be curious to see what happens. But I guess I'm just not going to judge it before it happens.
Yeah, you're being sensible about it.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder now. What I think we talked about this before in a previous episode. Where it's going to end. Will it end with the moment they meet, or will it end with him saying goodbye to her?
Wow. I don't know. I want it so bad to have a happy ending, and I just assumed that it was going to be a happy ending this whole time.
Yep.
And that people thinking that she was dead were just insane. But, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Time. I almost said Time Magazine, but aren't they not doing Time Magazine anymore? So it's just the website.
Yeah.
The title of the article posted 4 hours ago. How I Met Your Mother. Are you trying to kill us?
Oh man.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, you're right. That this development does kind of throw a wrench into how it could end.
Yeah.
Because there's two significant events, that need to be shown still. And is it going to be, when he meets the mom or when he says goodbye to her?
Yeah.
Good point.
So there are 3.5 episodes left, right?
Yeah.
2 episodes and then a 2-parter? Or is it 3 and a 2-parter?
They said 3 episodes until the finale.
Yeah.
Until the finale. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 episodes left?
Yeah.
Right.
Something like that.
Okay.
Man. Are we going to do a special bonus episode all about How I Met Your Mother? I think
Through tears?
Yeah.
I think we should.
Yeah, just a wrap up of like pretty much a retrospective on the series and the finale.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Did we just hop out of podcast mode?
We kind of did. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's all right.
Real quick, the one thing I wanted to bring up about How Much Your Mother we didn't get to, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Sure.
2 episodes ago, the episode was Sunrise. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It was the one where Barney goes on his bender and Ted and Robin have their conversation on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys feel about like one of the last scenes where Ted is like holding hands with Robin and then he, in quotes, lets her go and she floats away?
Oh,
That was
one of my favorite lines to say. It was so cheesy, I was worried about my cholesterol.
Yes. It was oh my God, that was so cheesy.
It was a low moment for the show, I think.
Absolutely. Took me right out of the episode.
I don't even remember. I think I may have been distracted. But yeah, it was, I
was really bummed because that episode had a lot of feeling and I was into it, and I was so happy to finally see Ted let go of this because it's been driving all of us crazy for the whole length of the series up till this point, and he finally lets it go, and then I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, did she just float away?
Is it a balloon? Is she Oh,
that's true. That's right. Now it's coming back to me. Damn it.
Did they really have Sherbatsky in a wire harness and they just lifted her up to? Oh my gosh, so stupid. I was really disappointed with that.
Yeah.
They really did.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it was. I don't know.
Wanted to air that out.
Right. You wanted to release it slowly.
Wanted to let it go,
Yeah.
So have I talked about E.T.?
No.
I don't think so.
Let me tell you guys about my E.T. experience.
Okay.
So you guys know how Topher Grace has released his serialprize.com?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about that.
Well, it's serialprize.com, and it's basically just a compilation of the stuff he loves. Like 30% of it is creator created, user created, owner created. I don't know. He makes 30% of it, and the rest of it is like stuff around the internet that he just likes, that kind of he put together as a cool thing. And he said it's supposed to be reminiscent of like waking up in the late 80s, your parents are still asleep, being in your underwear, eating a bowl of cereal, and just watching cartoons. It's like, that's how it's supposed to remind you.
Okay.
And so the background of the website is just like this kid's room with all kinds of stuff, like just a million Easter eggs of like references.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, one of the things, like the tabs at the top are different categories for the things he likes, and he posts these things. And under the great tab, I think, is an audition of Henry Thomas for Elliot, as Elliot. And
cool.
So I watched that, and it was like, this was incredible. I got to watch E.T. So I called my mom. And E.T. was one of those movies that I've might have referenced here before. It's like a babysitter movie,
right?
Basically, movies where if my mom had something else to do, she would put it on, and I would watch it to entertain myself for a little while,
right?
Like a Ninja Turtles or Back to the Future.
Right.
E.T. was like the movie from age 3 to age 6.
Nice.
And so I haven't seen it since I was 6.
Huh.
So this is 21 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Is the last time I saw E.T. Okay, so you have memories of movies you watched that long ago, but they're faded memories. It's the same kind of thing where like you look at a picture book and you think, am I actually remembering that, or am I just remembering this picture, or am I just remembering that I remember it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, okay, well I gotta watch E.T. So I got the special edition, the special edition 2002 DVD from my parents, which they got a long time ago, back in 2002, maybe 2003. They had to purchase it because they lost the DVD, right? And it's a 2-disc set, so they lost the DVD that has the special edition, and it just has the original theatrical cut, which is better. So I watched it, and it was one of the coolest, strangest movie watching experiences I have ever had.
Wow.
For starters, it is a fantastic movie. You guys know that Star Wars is clearly, I'm a Star Wars freak. It's one of my favorite movies, and I love the John Williams score. But lately I've just been coming up with scores that I like better than the Star Wars score, specifically by John Williams. And E.T. is one of those.
Nice.
The E.T. score is incredible. And at the end, when E.T. goes away and it just kind of ends with this crescendo of sounds, and then boom. I read that John Williams couldn't get the timing of it right, so Spielberg just said, listen, play it like you would play it if you were doing a show or holding a concert, and then I will edit the movie so it fits your song, and you can totally tell, and it's fantastic. But the movie is great. It's a great family movie. It's one of those movies I'm like excited to show my kids one day.
Nice.
Anyway, my point, this is incredibly long-winded, I apologize.
Oh, no, it's great.
My point is that watching the movie, I was having those weird photographic memory moments where I could remember feeling a certain way about this scene, but not quite understanding it, and then not being able to recall exactly what happens, but knowing that I've seen it. Scenes like last time I saw it, I was 6, which predates when I saw Star Wars. There are so many Star Wars references in that movie. Like his brother does a Yoda reference, and I remember when I was younger thinking, why is he talking like that? That's so weird. And then seeing it today and saying, oh, he's doing that. But I also remember being confused why he would remember that. Does that make any sense to you guys, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That does make sense. I think that's kind of a big indicator of what kind of some of the magic of movies and TV and stuff like that is that we have these memories from our childhood that are altered by our perception of them as adults. And I think that's a really unique thing to have. And it's one of the things that art is really cool about, is that it grows with us. Yeah.
A lot of those moments. So many feels watching that movie. And
Nice.
And so I watched it again, because after the first time I watched it, I was like, man, that might be a top 10 movie for me.
Nice.
I watched it again. I don't know if it's a top 10. It kind of drags at times. But man, it was such a cool experience watching that movie. And
Nice.
I just wanted to share that weird memory stuff.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
That's
Thanks.
awesome. I need to watch E.T. again, because I mean I've saw it when I'm sure I saw it when I was a kid. It wasn't a babysitter movie. But I saw it again when I was maybe 18, 19, and it was one of those situations where I watched it under just bad circumstances on a crappy TV without the attention I needed to pay to it and all that. So it didn't affect me the way that I want it to. But now, as I'm kind of older, and I always think I want to see it after I watch like a movie like Super 8 that kind of pays tribute to that kind of feel of a movie. If I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
my gosh, it's the same movie.
Yeah. So I want to see it as a study of that in terms of influence and all that on a movie that I really like, Super 8. So I kind of want to see the influence of it. Which is an interesting way to look at a movie, that especially a classic like E.T. But that's my thing.
Mike brought up Star Wars in that little story he said, and Star Wars has made some kind of announcements about Episode 7.
Oh yes,
that some casting decisions. For me, most notable is Adam Driver being cast as a villain. Which,
Outer space.
Yeah.
Outer. Did you guys see Inside Llewyn Davis?
Not yet.
Oh, well, he sings a song, and I just thought that was funny because Star Wars is outer space. Never mind. Go ahead.
Nice. Oh, I'm sure our listeners appreciated that.
Yeah. But Adam Driver playing a villain, super excited for that. I'm impressed by him every time I see him on Girls, which that show drives me insane, but he's a bright spot of that show every week. Really excited for that. And then I don't know if they mentioned a while ago that Benedict Cumberbatch and Gary Oldman were both also on board. Probably as villains, and I was just like, oh, too much awesome.
Right.
I'm gonna have an awesome heart attack. And I don't think they've said any more news about if they're definitely on or not. But those three right there, oh my gosh, I can't put into words. It makes me mad because the movie's not coming out for so much more time.
Right.
It's like a year and a half away. I'm like, oh, I can't be this excited this early.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see what happens with that.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah. I've heard that it's going to be, like I was just listening to the Nerds You're Looking For podcast. They were talking about that. And like they said that, like they made the remark that that his character is supposed to be kind of a Darth Vader type of character, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the point that it's that leads them to believe that it's going to be an arcing character throughout multiple movies, which would be interesting. I'm sure for fans of Adam Driver. I've never seen him in anything.
Yeah.
So
he was in Lincoln. You saw him in Lincoln.
Oh yeah, everyone was in Lincoln.
Yeah, he has like 2 lines.
Yeah,
he's basically not in Lincoln.
Nice. Who was he in Lincoln?
He was like one of the telegraph operators during when they were declaring war, I think.
Okay.
He has like 1 line to President Lincoln. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He's really, really, really impressive.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool beans. Yeah. Us?
Should be good.
Yeah, totally. So, anything else? I feel like yeah.
Did we say it all? Oh, Tiny, I watched 7 yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, get your beat ready, Matt.
Nice.
That movie.
Wow.
It's so good. It's a good movie. It's fantastically made. But I just felt awful. We had to watch 17 again afterwards just to make me feel better about the world.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That and Zac Efron is beautiful.
Oh, yes.
You're supposed to feel better. You're supposed to feel awful.
Right. You are. Oh, yeah. It is well done in that respect.
Nice.
Yeah. Zac Efron is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
His eyes are so blue.
Oh, Jesus. I could get lost in that.
They are. He made New Year's Eve.
Like a deep, deep ocean.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm actually excited for that, what is that? The Neighbors or Neighbors?
Yeah.
Neighbors. That looks
Seth
pretty
Rogen.
good.
Looks funny.
Yeah, I think that's going to be hilarious.
I totally forgot a movie I was going to talk about. We can talk about it on a different episode, though, but I know that this is going to take a lot of time to talk about, but a little movie from last year called About Time that I finally watched.
Oh, you did!
I finally watched it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now I know how you guys feel about me watching True Detective.
Yeah.
No, I will say that I loved it. I'm a sucker for a time travel movie. I'm a sucker for a rom-com kind of thing, but it wasn't really a rom-com.
No, it wasn't.
It was
and that's one of the things I loved.
Yeah, it could have been. That's what gets me is that they could have. I wasn't aware of how nervous I was for this, but I was afraid that it was going to be all about him trying to get Rachel McAdams, and him trying to like getting into these situations where the time travel interferes with him getting the girl. But it's not. It's about him. No. It's about a lot bigger things, and it's something that I wasn't surprised that it turned out to be that, because is it Richard Curtis? I'm such a sucker for Love Actually, and I know that he would have done. I knew going in that he took with Love Actually. I haven't seen Notting Hill, but with Love Actually, what he did was he took a convention. A movie like the romantic comedy, and he produced a product that was just like it was unlike any other in its thing. Like it was kind of like the pinnacle of rom-coms for me. I love Love Actually. I think it's a fantastic movie.
Me too.
And then what he did with About Time was kind of the same thing. It could have been like a kind of romantic time travel.
Love Actually is the pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
Is When Harry Met Sally the grandfather? Because I think When Harry Met Sally is the pinnacle.
Yeah,
that came out.
Yeah, I'm talking more like
When Harry Met Sally is kind of like the quintessential. It's like the perfect example of one.
Okay.
Yeah, when I'm thinking rom-com, I'm thinking like crappy crappy kind of movies that like depict just, star-crossed lovers that get into like these cute little situations and they have their hardships and all that. That's kind of the thing I do. When Harry Met Sally to me is more dramatic than I give my brain to rom-coms for, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, sure.
I like the movie a lot. And I think
you should.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny. It's one of those movies that I wasn't really crazy about the first time I saw it, but I saw it again and I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
But with Love Actually, it plays off of these crappy, like kind of Hitch-like rom-coms. I'm just looking at my DVDs, which that was totally a gift. Hitch, yeah. I don't watch it every year on Valentine's Day while I cry myself to sleep, but no, it plays off of those conventions, and About Time is the same kind of thing that they could have done. He could have done a time travel movie that had heart with in terms of him finding romance and all that, which is what he sets out to do. But it turns into something. It takes that convention and it flips it on its ear and turns into something else, and that's something I really appreciated. Yeah, I don't know. It was really good. I liked it a lot, and we can talk about it later after Tiny's seen it.
Sounds good.
Sorry.
It's okay. We can release the Obsessive Viewer after show, where I watch True Detective and you watch About Time,
and I watch.
And Mike watches. He's pretty much on every. Yeah, he watches nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Liam Neeson's,
though.
Liam Neeson's.
I'm not trying to hijack this plane. I'm trying to save it.
Oh, jeez.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. So does that about do it? We've been recording for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Let's bring this thing in for a landing.
All right.
Otherwise, it could get nonstop.
Damn it. Well,
sorry for all the time we've taken.
We did
I hope
make
you
a
like
pretty
where
long.
we've taken you to. That doesn't work as well.
We did make a pretty long list.
Oh.
I can't believe I went there.
Oh, tiny,
man.
tiny.
It is unknown if people will get what we're doing.
I'm feeling a little gray because I wanted to use unknown.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So anyway, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace sucks. Go ahead.
Nice. Well done. Okay, so let's wrap this up, shall we?
Sure. Put a bow on it.
Alrighty. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Obsessive Viewer podcast. You can find us on Twitter at I am Mike White for Mike, at Obsessive Tiny for Tiny, and at Obsessive Viewer for me, Matt. Thank you to Star Tissue for supplying the theme music. We appreciate it a lot, and I enjoy putting it into every episode. You can also find us on Tumblr and Google Plus and kind of those kind of things. You can also find the blog at obsessiveviewer.com, where we're posting more content, which I'm really happy about. Also check out the kind of sister site or companion website or offshoot of the Obsessive brand, for book sites. For book reviews, you can read obsessivebooknerd.com. And you can also find us on send us an email at ovpodcast@gmail.com. You can send us any recommendations, anything you want us to review, anything you want us, any reactions you have, any audio files you want us to implement of your own audio reviews. That would be nice. Anything, we're not opposed to pictures of your cat, either. Well, dogs. We're dog people at the Obsessive Viewer.
We are.
Yeah. Other than that, I'm forgetting something. Like us on Facebook at the Obsessive Viewer and also Obsessive Book Nerd. Also check out Tiny's side project, the Secular Perspective podcast, where we're talking about our secularism. Yes. Other than that, I think that about does it.
Yeah. Go watch some stuff.
Yes, that can be like our sign off. Go watch some stuff.
Go watch some stuff.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Thanks a lot. Batman Begins.
But wait, what?
Leave peace and
Oh, damn it!
Oh man. That was great.
That is awesome.
Oh,
damn it.
So stupid. I should have said Battleship.
No.
Man, I was
that
trying to
would've
think
been
of some
good.
other ones.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of other ones, but I can't. I don't
Lego Movie.
got nothing. Oh, yeah.
Love Actually.
Love Actually. My
Yeah.
God.